y'all, I'm Jessi Harry and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps me out so much. But let's get into this week's What's for Dinner. Okay, so the first dinner that we're making this week is going to be chicken enchilada casserole. It's a recipe that my mom made a lot when I was younger and growing up and stuff. So we've got 2 chicken breasts that I boiled and shredded. Got some corn tortillas, a can of cream of chicken soup. I didn't have any green enchilada sauce, so I instead used this green salsa verde sauce. It turned out great with that. You can use either or. And then we've got about 8 ounces of Mexican shredded cheese. You can use whatever brand you want. I think that was the Aldi brand. I just measured it out so I wouldn't have to do it later. Alright, so first things first is we're going to add that can of cream of chicken soup into the chicken. And then I added about a cup and a half of that green sauce. Gonna get it all mixed together. And then I dumped in almost all of the cheese. Saved a little for the top. And then we got all that mixed together. Alright, so once we did that, we sprayed down a casserole dish with some cooking spray, and I'm going to layer it with corn tortillas. I just layer them on top of one another. I don't cut them and make them fit perfectly. This is the way I do it. You're going to take half of your mixture and spread it all on there. Then I'll take more tortillas and layer them, and I will dump the rest of mixture on top of that. Smooth it all out. And I'm going to top that with that little bit of cheese that I had left over. Alright, once that's done, we're going to put it in the oven at 350. Don't cover it. We're going to cook that for about 35 to 45 minutes. So this is what it looks like coming out of the oven. I like it a little brown on top. You can do it however you want to, not brown, browner, whatever. Leave it in there for longer. And we served taco toppings on the side. Got a whole bevy of different things to choose from. And then I also made a quick Spanish rice, which is really just leftover rice with a bunch of different things dumped in there just to have on the side. So here it is. We've got green onion, tomatoes, cilantro, avocado, sour cream. This is one of my favorite dishes that my mom made growing up. It's really, really easy to make, very low on ingredients, very low on time, budget friendly. And honestly, it looks like it doesn't have a lot of pizzazz in it, but it's delicious. We devoured all of this. You've got to try it. All right, and then the next night, we had a chicken avocado caprese salad. I only used one of these chicken breasts because, as you can see, they're massive. That's only 2 of them. Some fresh basil. Got some avocado. Mozzarella balls. Some tomatoes, grape tomatoes, brown sugar, basil, salt, balsamic vinegar, olive oil, and lettuce, and garlic. This is going to be really, really simple and really, really quick. It was a lot easier than I thought it'd be. Alright, so we're going to make the marinade / salad dressing first. So we've got some balsamic vinegar, and then we've got the brown sugar, the dried basil, salt, minced garlic, and then of course salad dressing. We always need some olive oil, which actually I think I could have only used 1 teaspoon of olive oil, but dealer's choice. Alright, so now we're going to get that blended up really, really good. And I'm going to put, I think it was like 4 tablespoons on top of that chicken. I just took one of those chicken breasts and cut it in half lengthwise so it would be nice and thin for when I cooked it. And then I got it nice and stirred around so that coating coats all of it, because you don't let it sit and marinate. You just coat it, and then we'll put it in this pan with a little bit of olive oil that I've let heat up on medium-high heat. And we're gonna let one side of the chicken brown, and then once that side's brown, we're gonna flip it over and brown the other side, and you're gonna cook the chicken until it reaches, 365 degrees, so we're nice and safe. All right, so once it was cooked, I let it rest for about 5 minutes, and then I chopped it up. Here we've got the mozzarella balls. I put out some different dressings that I figured my son would want. I also cut up some cucumbers and put out the croutons for him if he wanted that, and also for everybody else. So here it is. This salad was so yummy. I know a lot of people are probably against having salads for dinner because they're not filling. This was totally filling, really, really delicious. The chicken would be amazing if you grilled it instead of did it in the pan, but it was really good in the pan too. All right, and then the next night we're doing some chicken lettuce wraps, or actually Chrissy Teigen's chicken lettuce wraps. So we've got some Boston lettuce to use for the wraps, diced up mushrooms, diced up red bell pepper, green onion, but that's the white part, and then there's the green part. Zucchini, I use diced zucchini instead of water chestnuts because I hate water chestnuts. Ground chicken. And then we've got a whole lot of sauces. We've got some sweet chili sauce, some hoisin sauce, light soy sauce, sriracha, canola oil, ginger, minced ginger, toasted sesame oil, minced garlic, and rice vinegar. I know it looks like a lot, but this was really, really tasty, and so I dare you to try it. So first things first, we're going to make this sauce. We've got some red Thai sweet chili sauce. Then we're going to dump in some hoisin sauce. Soy sauce. Sriracha. The canola oil. Sesame oil, rice vinegar, garlic, and ginger. Then I'm going to blend all that up really, really well. Only I could blend that fast in real life. All right, we're gonna set that aside, and I'm gonna put a little bit of that oil into a pan, dump in the chicken, and I'm gonna dump about 2 tablespoons of the sauce onto the chicken. Get that all broken up and mixed together, and let the chicken cook all the way through. And once that chicken's cooked all the way through, we're gonna take it out of the pan. Also, side note, the recipe says to mix the sauce with the chicken in a separate bowl and then put it in the pan. Less mess, do it in the pan. All right, I'm going to add a little bit more canola oil and dump in the white part of the green onions, ginger, and garlic. And we're going to mix that up and let that soften for about a minute. Then we're going to dump in the diced mushrooms and let those cook down until they soften and release their juices. Basically, they'll cook down really, really well. Once that's done, you're going to dump in the chicken that you've already cooked. And then if you want water chestnuts, I did zucchini. So put in your next thing, I did zucchini. And then the bell pepper. And then you're going to stir all that together and let that cook down a little bit. And once that's done, you're going to dump in your sauce. What's left of your sauce, we use 2 tablespoons for the meat, and then we're just going to dump in the rest of it. I scraped out all that goodness. Then you're going to get that all mixed up. So everything's nice and coated with that sauce. And then you're going to let it cook and let that sauce kind of cook down into a thicker sauce and let all the vegetables and meat soak it up. Lastly, we're going to dump in the green parts of the green onion and get that all mixed in. Once that's done, you don't have to let it cook anymore, just let it get all mixed in. So then I also have a pile of lettuce leaves to use as wraps. And here you go. This is how you serve it. I also served it with some rice because my son's not going to want to eat things out of lettuce leaves. And also, I like to take the rice and put them in the wraps too, or you can just leave it the way that it is and it can be low carb. This was delicious. I know it looked kind of complicated, but it wasn't. All right, and then the last one for this week is some pan-fried cod in the citrus basil butter sauce. So we've got some frozen cod, some brown sugar, oranges, lemon, some butter, olive oil, basil, salt, and pepper. All right, so we're gonna get this all cooked up. Sounds complicated? Relatively easy. All right, so first things first, I put the cod in a pan and you're going to zest the lemon over the cod. And then you're going to zest one of the oranges. I was doing it backwards. One of the oranges over the cod as well. Just zest the whole thing. All right, and then we're going to push that off to the side and make a sauce. So we've got some olive oil. And you're going to squeeze in that lemon that you zested. And then squeeze in the orange that you zested. Which was really hard. It kind of fell apart after being zested. All right, and then you're going to make sure to blend that sauce really, really well. And you're going to pour it over the cod. And then I cover the cod with some saran wrap because you're going to let it marinate for a little while, and I don't like fish just sitting out in my refrigerator while it marinates, so I covered it. All right, next I'm going to put some oil in a skillet. I did my cast iron, and you're going to drop your fish into that skillet. You'll let it brown on one side and then flip it over. To be honest with you, it didn't really brown. I think it was because it was in the marinade. I do prefer my fish to be crispy on the outside, but you know, whatever. All right, and once the fish is cooked, you're going to make your sauce. I put in some butter, some brown sugar, and then the leftover remnants of the marinade. You're going to dump that in there too. That all mixed together. And then I'm going to squeeze in the other two oranges that we did not zest. I'm going to squeeze that in there. And then I'm going to whisk that all together, and you're going to let that simmer until it cooks down, gets a little bit thicker. I threw in the basil that I'd cut up, and as you can see, it's a lot thicker now. I pulled the fish out of the oven where I was keeping it warm, and I am going to dump this basil, citrusy, buttery sauce on the fish. I let it sit for just a second. The pan was still pretty hot, so I kind of let the sauce really soak into the fish because you know cod will really soak in that flavor. So I served this with some rice, and I definitely poured more of the sauce onto the fish and rice and a little bit of California steamed medley vegetables that I put Cajun seasoning on. We love Cajun seasoning on our vegetables. This was good. It was really tasty, but I think that next time I make it, I'm going to do fresh cod, and you should try fresh cod if you do it. Thank you so much for watching my video this week. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a great week. Thank you.